Well, 3 hours have gone by. I'm just back now. Well, actually more than 3 hours. Almost 4 hours. I'm hoping Rocky isn't still under this trailer, but let's see. Let's see if he is or not. No, good. Maybe he's gone back to camp. I hope he has. My goodness. He's quite a cat, I'll tell you. You never know what he's going to do next. Well, let's go back to camp and see. He's probably back there. I hope he's back there anyway. When I left him here at 3 o'clock, he was in the, he was under the trailer. We'll see. We'll see where he is. I finished my work at 6 and then I had to go to the store. And I bought some pork chops and some applesauce. And a couple of those strawberry sundaes that I like. So we'll see here. They're like a strawberry shortcake in a cup, they are. But let's see here. Wow, get out of my ear. Darn mosquitoes. I hope he's back here. Who knows? He's been so badly traumatized this week that who knows, with all the dressing changes and everything. I know that's an ordeal he hates. Oh, I'm hoping he's here. Oh, it's hot in here. It is. It's very hot in here. Let me check the temperature on my bugs buzzing around me here, biting me. Okay, it's good yet. Alright. Well, let me get out of here. See, oh, there he is. Hi, Rocky. Hi, beautiful boy. Ah, hello. You came back to camp, eh? I knew you would. Well, I thought you would anyway. I wasn't 100% certain, but I figured you would whenever you were finished sleeping under the trailer there, eh? You just wanted to have a nice sleep under the trailer, eh? Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, anyway, you know what I got to do? I have to cook the pork chops. I do. It's important to cook the pork chops, Rocky. It is. It's very important. We have to get it done, we do. Alrighty. Well, here we go now. I'm very tired. I am. I'm so tired. It's not really even tired from working. It's just tired. That's all. Oh, well. You know what they say, there's a certain kind of tired. There are different kinds of tired, there are. And the kind of tired I am isn't really a good kind of tired. But let's see. Ooh. Alright now. I got damn bugs. They're just everywhere. They'll tire you out. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. Okay, now. Turn it on anyway. Oh, go away, mosquito. There we go. Put some extra virgin olive oil in the thingamajigger there. Oh, the place is full of mosquitoes, and flies, everything. Alright, here we go now. Hi, beautiful cat. I'm fixing to cook some pork chops. Do you want to have some pork chops with me? Yeah? I give Rocky a licky treat midway through his ordeal getting his bandages changed. I think that's at least a little compensation for him. But yeah, I started doing that every day when I take him to get his bandage changed. He's quite a cat, I'll tell you. Poor wee thing. He was burying his head in me there, and in my chest and everything, and really going right up against me when all that was going on, because he was really frightened. Hey, it's painful, isn't it? I know, it's very painful. That wound of his is very angry looking yet. Anyway, I'll post a picture of it if you want to see what Rocky's wound looks like. You should be warned though, don't go looking for it unless you got a strong stomach and you're prepared to deal with blood and gore. And it actually looks better right now than it did look. Darn it all. And see, this is what happens. Look at this. Like the bag my pork chops were in is stuck to my sundaes. See, these are like a strawberry shortcake. I like them. So put them in here. I got a dark one too there. Yeah. All right. Now, there's the applesauce. Yeah. There we go. Okay, now I'll put these two things here away. I will. There we go. All right, Rocky. Let me see now. I'll put my pork chops on top of my shoes. I don't want them falling in with the poop, I'll tell you. Had too much of that already. We don't need any more of that trouble. Lots of trouble, Rocky. You probably noticed that there's been lots of trouble, eh? Yeah, lots of trouble. So you hold on here. Okay, he did have his food. That's good. That's a good thing. I'll not complain about that. He's had his food. That's good. Well, these here I need to fry up. I know, the place is full of bugs, Rocky. Have you ever seen the like of it? Hey? That's right. You just lash out there and swat those bugs. That's a good boy. Okay, now, I know that's not what he's doing, but he's just expressing his displeasure with the bandage is what he's doing. And I know that, but still, I'm putting my own positive spin on it. I am. Yeah. Hoo hoo hoo, pork chops. We're gonna have pork chops. Yeah, we are. Good old pork chops. I do love them. Oh boy, hey. It's a funny kind of a thing what goes on in the world. It is. Hey you. Yeah. My goodness. Oh. I'll tell you a story. I was just thinking of this today, actually. I remember when this happened. And it did happen. You know, I drove old cars that were standard transmission. They had the gear shift up on the steering post. They're called free in the tree, is what people called them. Free speed standard with the shift lever up on the at the steering wheel, you know, on the steering post. Anyway, yeah. And I was pretty good at it, driving those old cars from the 40s and 50s that were built that way. But I'm never able to drive a modern standard, either free in the tree or otherwise. I tried several times to drive modern standards that had a floor shifter, and I couldn't do it. And I could never figure out why. I did figure out why eventually, but I could never figure out why at the time. Anyway, I went up one time way up to the town of Renfrew, which is north of here in Renfrew County. And I was looking at a truck that an old woman had for sale. It was a Ford F-150. It was a 1978 or 79 Ford F-150. And it had a standard transmission, just a free in the tree transmission in it. And the reason I was looking at it is I was doing a lot of scrap metal at the time. At that time, scrap metal was worth a lot of money. And I figured I can move more scrap metal, and I can move it more easily and more safely in a pickup truck than I can in a big old car. So I was going to keep my car, but I was going to have a pickup truck as a second vehicle to move my scrap metal. Anyway, at that time, you could buy an old pickup truck for next to nothing, you know, $200 or $300. I think this lady was asking around $300 for the one she had, something like that. Anyway, I go up to look at this truck, and, you know, it looked to be not in too bad a shape. It needed a little work here and there. I found a few small things wrong with it, but overall, it wasn't in bad shape, really. And, anyway, I asked her, can I take it for a drive? And she said, well, there's no plates or insurance on it, but you're welcome just to take it around the property if you wish to. And so, and on the phone, she had asked me, do you know how to drive a free on the tree? I said, oh, yes, I've driven lots of free on the trees, which was true, I had. They were all real old ones from the 40s and 50s, though, you know. Anyway, I got into the truck, and I started it up, no problem there. I went to back the truck up, stalled it. Could not get the truck to go. I kept stalling it. And I killed the battery. Well, the woman was hopping mad. She said, I got a man coming to look at this thing this afternoon, and now you've killed my battery. And I said, I bring my car over. We can jump start it off my car if you'd like. And she says, I thought, did you told me, did you know how to drive a free in the tree? And I said, well, yeah, I do. I said, I don't know why I'm having trouble with this one. I said, I've driven free in the tree cars with vehicles with free in the tree transmissions, though I've driven lots of them. Don't know why I'm having trouble with this one. But I said, I just can't seem to get the clutch. You know, I can't seem to hit it just in the right spot. I can't even feel where the pressure point is on the clutch or anything, you know. And she looked at me, you're not supposed to feel it. And I said, well, in the ones I've driven, I could feel it. And she says, you know what? She said, you're just a total idiot. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're a liar. You told me you could drive one of those things. Clearly you cannot. Get off my property. I don't ever want to see you again. Get off my property. She said, you've lied to me, and now you've killed my battery. She said, just get off my property and never come back here. Anyway, I said, you don't want me to boost it, you know? And she said, no, I don't want you to do that. You'd probably F that up, too, she said. You effed everything else up today. Why wouldn't you F that up? She said, just get off my property. You lying SOB. So I left her property. I couldn't figure it out. Turns out, the reason that I can't drive these modern standards is they have a slave cylinder in them that does a lot of the work. So basically, the clutch is too smooth. I can't feel the friction point, and if listening for it doesn't work for me. And so I can't drive them. I had the same experience with other standard vehicles that I tried to drive. I was never able to drive them. But yet I can get into an old thing from the 40s, and I can drive that better than most people can drive their modern automatic transmission car, you know. I'm really good with that stuff. But see, with that stuff, when you hit the friction point on the clutch, you can actually feel it kicking back at you. There's like a feeling under your foot, and you know that you've hit the friction point. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Oh, anyway, that's the problem. I you know, and there are so many things like that with me, you know. A lot of the stuff that I'm good at is stuff that isn't called for anymore. I mean, you know, driving a 40s car, for example, well, it's kind of neat to know how to do that and to be good at it. And believe me when I tell you, I am good at it. You put me behind the wheel of an old 1940s car, and I'll outdrive just about anybody. I'm really good at it. But, you know, they're a thing of the past now. They're obsolete, you know. You don't need that kind of skill anymore to survive. Modern standard, I can't drive. I just stall them. That's all I've ever done with a modern standard is stall it, you know. Anyway, yeah. But it turns out that Ford had a slave cylinder in it. That's the reason that I couldn't drive it. You know, I didn't know that at the time. I had no idea. I'd never heard of a slave cylinder before. I knew nothing about them. But that's what it was. That truck was just new enough that it had one in it. Yeah. So there you go. Anyway, Rocky's doing pretty well. Like his wound on his leg is definitely not pretty, but it does actually look better than it did. I will say that it looks better than it did. Of course, they scraped it at the office there to get all the dead tissue out of it, all the putrefied stuff, and so it's pretty angry looking right now. It's a pretty sore looking thing. And I can tell it's painful for Rocky when he gets his dressing changed. He doesn't like that at all. But it's something we have to do because if he's going to have any hope of healing, it has to be done. Anyway, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are the last days that has to be done. And so I did take a picture of it today, which the lady is going to send to the vet. I've forwarded her the picture, and she's going to send it to the vet. And then, like I say, I'll publish the picture here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about if you want to see it. You may not want to see it. That's fine, too. Please don't rip a strip off me when you see it. I did my best, but I just wasn't able to get it treated. I just was not, you know, I couldn't get the veterinarian to do anything with it. And the closest I ever came to getting them to do anything with it, they wanted basically a $600 bribe. In exchange for treating it, I had to first pay a $600 bribe. They said they wanted to do $600 in tests to determine what caused it. Well, I mean, I know what caused it. What caused it was a snake bite. I was here when it happened. But, unfortunately, I was told I'm not allowed to say that because only $600 worth of tests can determine that. So there you go. Anyway, now I've got this lady doing the talking, and she is able to talk to them, and they respect her, so they don't give her that kind of a runaround. Plus, she knows what vets there are good to deal with and which ones aren't. And the one that we dealt with on Thursday was one of the ones that's good to deal with anyway, so that really helps. It's luck of the draw, really, otherwise it's a crapshoot. But anyway, yeah, that's where we're at. That's what's going on. I reckon that we'll just keep doing what we've been doing with getting Rocky's leg healed up, hopefully. Preparing to move into the truck. Getting everything ready for that. I've got to buy insulation. I got to buy basically styrofoam insulation to go in there, you know, to go under the floor and all that. And into the walls and stuff. I'm going to have to build a floor. I'm going to have to build walls. What I'm planning to do is when you go in through the back doors of the truck there, the two swinging back doors, I'm planning to have the first 2 to 3 feet be a vestibule where I can keep my generator and some tools and other things like that I need, and also where I can take my boots or my shoes off before walking into the place. And then after that, I'm going to have a wall that'll be insulated with a door. I'm going to use the old screen door here from the camper. I'm going to cut it down to make it fit. That screen door actually also has a sliding thing in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the screen door down I'm going to have to cut it down to about here. And I've already filled that in with metal, with aluminum. I'm going to fill it in here with aluminum too. I'll have to move that up to here. That top piece there will go up to here, and this will all be eliminated. And then, see the sliding thing here? I'm going to have this so that Rocky can, even if the door is closed, Rocky will be able to come and go. I can open this up for Rocky to be able to come and go. That's the idea anyway. Now, obviously this door won't be insulated, but I'm going to have a heavy curtain that I can draw across there. So that'll provide some insulation for that door. Plus that door will be a buffer. There'll be a, basically 2 to 3 feet of a buffer between the 2 rear swinging doors and that door. And then when you enter it, to the right would be my kitchen area, which will be right where that door on the outside swings up. That serviceman's door, that you can open up out that way. And then there's a little cubby hole for storage beside it that opens up the same way. Well, that door there, that long door, I'm going to have the kitchen area right there, so I can open up that door when I'm cooking or whatever in the summertime. And I can have it good for ventilation and so on. I'll probably make up some sort of a screen that I can insert in that opening so that I can keep that open at night for ventilation in the summertime too, on real hot days. I'm going to take that small window at the back of the camper there. That's formerly the bathroom window. I'm going to take that and use it as a window. That's going to be on the driver's side, which is the side that doesn't have the 2 doors that open. I'm going to have my bed on the driver's side. I'm going to have a place for my batteries and my wiring and so on. It's all going to be sorted out. I'll be able to give you a better idea. Someday I'll take you up to the truck soon and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But basically that's what I plan to do. I plan to have it all set up like that, and we'll be able to live in it. I got my mattress. It's just a narrow mattress, but it'll be fine. It's a new mattress. It's 6 inches in depth, and it's 3 feet. Not 3 feet, yeah. 30 inches, that's what it is. It's 30 inches across, and it's nearly 7 feet long. It's like 6 feet something long. I forget the exact dimensions now, but it's over 6 feet long, and it's like 30 inches wide and 6 inches deep, And anyway, that will be where I sleep. I'm going to have some shelves and whatnot too to store things, and shelves that are made in such a way that things can't roll out of them when the truck is on the move. Like I say, I'll be able to show you more when I actually get started on it. I've got a little ways to go yet. I'll have to get a battery-powered carbon monoxide detector and CO2 detector basically in there, and I'll have to get it all sorted out anyway so that I can work in there. But that's about it anyway. All right, I'm going to hang this up now. It's 24 minutes long at this point, so it's time to stop. I hope you're all having a good day, and we'll see you later.